In this video, let us see how to deploy the Starlette apps and render for free. Here you can see I have a project called the text share clone. First, let me show you the demo of this project, then I will show you how to deploy this to the render. So this is just a very basic Starlette application where we share the text with some other using a link. Here in the title, what you can do is you can enter the title. For those of you who don't know the Starlette is a web framework similar to the FastAPI, Flask, Django, but it is a asynchronous. So it is built on top of the FastAPI. You can think of it as a modern, lightweight asynchronous web service. So let me enter the title over here, and you can select the language or like, and I'm gonna give you a content like print hello world. That's it. And you can then click on create page. It will give you the URL. Since it is running on the local host, it will be only available for you in the local machine. But once it is deployed, you can share this with anyone and they can access the content that you have shared. And let me copy the URL and let me open up the incognito mode and paste the link over here. And you got the content over here like this. So let us see how to deploy this. So let me open up the VS Code and let me close the Starlette server now. Here for this project, it is very similar how you deploy the FastAPI. You need to have the requirements.txt file, and you consider I am using the SQLite database, and you consider I have the DB files over here. As you can see, for this database connection, I am using this SQLite, and type all the dependencies that we need in the requirements.txt file. As usual, we need the Starlette, and we need the Uvicorn to show the server. Then we need the SQLAlchemy as usual, and then we need the Jinja tool. Then we need the SQLite, and these are the other dependencies that we need. So once you have taken all the dependencies, then what you can do is, so you need to push all the source code to the GitHub. So let me open up the browser and let me go to the github.com and let me create a new repo now, and let's give a name for our repo. In this case, I'm gonna give text share clone. Let me create this repo and let's initialize our git now. So let me open up the terminal and type git init, and if you see the status now git status, you consider there are many files to commit. So let me add all the files now. Git add, I'm going to select all the files. Then let's commit them. So git commit, I'm going to leave a message called the adder share feature. You consider we have committed, then we can add the origin. So git remote add origin, we can provide the GitHub URL over here. So let me go to the browser, and here we have the URL. Let me copy this URL, and I'm going to go to the Visual Studio Code and paste the URL over here. Once we have added the origin, let me clear the screen, then we can push now. So first let me check which branch we are now. We are on the main branch. So let me push git push origin. I'm gonna push it on the main branch. And you consider we have successfully pushed to the GitHub. So once I have pushed to the GitHub, let me go to the GitHub and let me click on refresh. And here you can see we have all the files over here. And make sure you have the requirement.txt file, that is the main thing. And let me open up a new tab and let me go to the render.com. And you consider your fastest way to deploy. So let me click on dashboard here to log in. So I will recommend you to create account using the GitHub. So let me sign in using a GitHub. So once you have signed in, the dashboard will be look like this. Here you can see I have deployed 5 applications, 2 Node.js applications and 3 Python applications. And if you want to deploy a new one, just click on the new button at the top. And here you have 2 options, static site or web service. So make sure you select the web service, and you need to provide the GitHub URL over here. So if you have connected your account to this render, then the repo will be automatically displayed here, but I will choose the public git repo. And to get the URL, let me go to the repository and let me copy this repository URL and let me paste the URL over here. Then click on connect. And once you have connected, you consider we have some configuration page here. So let's give you a name now. So I'm going to remove the clone over here in the name. Then at the bottom, we have an option called the branch. Currently, we are on the main branch, so leave that as it is. And then, so the root directory will be source and the build command. So make sure you leave the build command as it is. Then the start command. So we're going to use the Uvicorn. So make sure you have the Uvicorn command in the requirements.txt file over here like this. So we're going to use the Uvicorn. Then we need to provide the app, where the app is located. You consider, let me go to the repo now. Inside this app folder, I have the file called the main.py file. So inside this main.py file, I have this app object over here. You consider app equal to Starlette. So you need to define where this app equal to Starlette exists. So app folder dot. So inside this app folder, I have this main.py file. So app.main, and inside this main, I have the app equal to Starlette. So this is the app object. So I'm gonna say :app. So that's it. So again, I'm repeating. So your project folder structure may be different, but this is the logic. You have to define where the app object is located. So inside this app folder for me, inside the main.py file, I have this app object. So this is the logic. Then we need to provide the host. You can select the host as 0.0.0.0. Then we need to specify the port number -F1 port. It will be directly coming from the render. So I'm going to use a dollar symbol and the port. So I'm going to select the free option. If you want to go to the professional one, you can go to that, but I will use the free one. And if you have any environment variables, you can do that as well. Advanced options, we have many options, but it is not recommended for beginners. So once you have configured everything, then click on just deploy website. You consider it is deploying the Starlette app for us. First it will clone, then it will try to install all the libraries that we have defined in the requirement.txt file. You consider it is installing the Python latest version. Here you can see it is downloading all the packages that we have defined in the requirements.txt file, and you can see that it is successfully built. It is deploying. So you should get a message like your service is live. Till then you will have to wait. You consider your service is live and it will be available at this URL. So once you got any message similar to this, then you can click on the URL and it will go to a page like this. You consider we have successfully deployed our Starlette app on the render for free. And let me test this feature now. So I'm gonna give you a title now, testing, and for the content, hi, how are you? So print hi, how are you? So I'm gonna click on create paste now. You can see we got the shared URL over here. What you can do is you can also share this URL with your friends and they can use this URL to open up the content that you have shared. So yeah, this is how you deploy the Starlette apps and render for free. And you can also open this in incognito mode. Since we have deployed, right, you can open this from anywhere, even from your mobile application as well. You can see it works perfectly fine. And if you want to change the domain of this, what you can do is you can go to the render platform and go to the settings, and below the settings we have an option called the custom domain. So currently it is available for the premium version only. So yeah, this is how you deploy the Starlette app on the render platform. So I will continue in the next one.